So, here's another example. What about non-homogeneous equations?
Good heavens, man!
Yes, well, what do we do about those? Well, first of all, as before, we solve the homogeneous equation first, and that's this one. And if we apply our Cauchy-Euler method, assume a solution of form y equals x to the m, then m squared minus m from this term, minus 2m from this term, plus 2 is equal to 0, so m squared minus 3m plus 2 equals 0, m equals 1, or m equals 2. And the solution of the homogeneous equation is c1x plus c2x squared. Now, variation of parameters, we're going to find a function instead of a number for this, and a function instead of a number for this, and make our yp out of that. So first of all, we got to get the proper form. Take this equation, divide everything by x squared. If we're going to use variation parameters, we've got to do this. So now that we've done that, we got x squared e to the x on this side, and our u1 prime, using variation of parameters, would be 0 here, x squared e to the x here. The denominator, here's our y1 prime, y2 prime. The determinant of the denominator is this x squared. The numerator is 0 minus x to the fourth e to the x. And so the x squareds cancel. We get negative x squared e to the x. u1 would be the integral of negative x squared e to the x. So that winds up being, I just use integration by parts. Actually, I use my software. You should know integration by parts. So you get e to the negative x times x squared minus 2x plus 2. u2 prime. Well, the denominator is the same. The numerator, 0 here, and x squared e to the x there. And we wind up with x times e to the x. Integrating that, we get e to the x times x minus 1. So, our yp, u1 y1 plus u2 y2. Here's our u1 y1 plus this u2 y2. And if you look carefully, there's a negative x cubed e to the x from this part, and a positive x cubed e to the x from this part, and they cancel each other out. So let's look at the e to the x squared part. We got a positive e to the x squared from this part. I'm sorry, e to the x times x squared from this part. And we have a negative, actually that's positive 2x squared e to the x in this part, and a negative 1 x squared e to the x in this part, so that's a positive 1 e to the x times x squared. Now, what about the constant parts? Let's see. We got, well, there's no constant part, but we got a negative 2x e to the x from this side, and there is no e to the x on this side. So negative 2x, and that's it. And that has used every one of our terms. So this is our yp. So the solution to the differential equation, c1x plus c2x squared plus e to the x times quantity x squared minus 2x.
I think I've got it.
Good.